Single-sex education is on the rise in the country. About a decade ago, about 12 public schools were separating classes by gender, but now an estimated 500 schools offer the split classrooms. So why the change? Well, part of the influx can be attributed to relaxed restrictions, but research that shows that boys are graduating at lower rates than girls, doing worse than girls on tests, is also seen as a factor. And so some people say that these classes are helping to tailor the education to the needs of the student. But not everybody's happy about the shift. The ACLU claims that the classes violate Title IX. And this spring, they started a national campaign called Teach Kids, Not Stereotypes, encouraging people to fight gender-separated classes. Now, supporters of the classes argue that the exact opposite is happening, and that these classes help to break down the gender stereotypes. But obviously, it's not a cut-and-dry issue. So we sent our man on the street, Sbalcio, out to find out if people think if single-sex education provides a better learning experience.
I feel like in the real world you have to deal with the opposite sex, and I feel like getting to know them from a young age on through is beneficial.
No, I think you need a balance in the school system, so I think it's good to have both together, and I think as you get older, I think it's difficult for people to mingle, especially with things like Twitter and internet and all that. So I think people lose the social skills between both sexes, so it's probably good to have a balance in the schooling system.
I don't have any kids, but if I had some, I would prefer that they be co-ed, educated, with some special classes that are gender specific.
When you got boys and girls in the same room and you're talking about sex, I mean, it gets interesting. I mean, and kids can be silly, and versus being able to have a serious conversation about a serious topic.
I don't see no reason why. We don't split up the military. We don't split up anything else. Why would we split up kids?
With my daughter and mixing and with different races and different ages, I think it's beneficial for them to be in there together. So and they learn different traits from both sexes, so it's fine.
I think in some arenas it is quite helpful because there are some topics that need to be covered just for the males, with the males as well as the females, but we eventually need to get back to the co-ed situation for socialization.
So it doesn't seem like the people here in D.C. think it's a good idea to split up boys and girls into different classrooms, and maybe it's only appropriate for sex education.
Now, we asked this question on our social media sites as well, and like on the street, some people thought we were talking about split gender sex education rather than split gender education in general, but it seemed like our viewers were a lot more accepting of the idea than the people on the street were. Alan Hoffa said on Facebook, "Yes, I do think there is something to this. It's hard for boys to concentrate on anything else when girls are around, and I think both girls and boys act in sex stereotyped ways when they're around each other." At Rhodes Travel tweeted, "As an all-girl high school grad, it worked for me, but that is not ideal for all. Learning isn't one size fits all." And Stephen Farrow said on Twitter, "In my experience, I went to a single-sex school. Yes, probably it does, but it provides a far worse social environment." And Paul Bangay tweeted, "No, it does not. In the real world, one has to work with both